So the playoffs start Saturday on the road, 6 p.m., game 1 in Philly. So Sixers fans, Raptors fans have an entire week to talk amongst themselves. That doesn't sound toxic to me at all.
Not at all, man. That's going to be fine.
This is going to be tough.
Oh, man.
No, just speaking to the last night of the season, like I felt like it was really anticlimactic because there was a chance that the Raptors might play Boston, and definitely didn't want to see Boston. Raptors, obviously, they sent most of their guys. They did do the sensible thing, which is to hold out Pascal and Fred. They got OG some run, although OG looked very rusty. I can't lie to you.
Yeah, did you see that last shot before he checked out?
Yeah, it was like
Pascal and him were laughing.
I'm out, man.
They were literally giggling about it, man. So he got a little conditioning stint. No, but seriously though, it just was kind of underwhelming because of the fact that Philadelphia, they rested James Harden and Joel Embiid. Embiid had secured the scoring title at that point, so there was really no...
Congratulations. That's going to be one title he'll have going into the offseason.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Damn, that's fine.
Like, it's going to happen.
Bulletin board material. Look, I respect the sanctity of the playoffs and how difficult playoff games are. I don't necessarily respect the Sixers in that regard. No, but they do have, obviously, a lot of talent. I think it's actually a really good opportunity for the Raptors to, like, go into a playoff series as the underdogs, like, actually feel no pressure. I mean, there are stakes because you're in the playoffs.
Right.
But, like, you know, you actually get to start game 1, not at home, not with the pressure of the Raptors losing game 1 and stuff like that. It's not at 12 o'clock. It's at 6 p.m., actually prime time on Saturday. And I think all the pressure is on Philly, which is kind of nice. Like,
all the pressure.
I haven't felt like this underdog feeling with the Raptors in the playoffs in a very long time.
This is to say, though, the Raptors absolutely believe they can and should win this series. We can say all this about being an underdog, but they firmly believe that they're the better team here, which, you know what, based on how they played this season, completely fair.
Yeah. Well, they're 3-1 against them this season. The one loss that happened was fairly close. It was right after the Raptors had lost a whole bunch of players to COVID.
Yep.
And
the lineup that day was not this lineup, of course.
Yeah. You know, the Raptors were bringing Daniel Oturu off the bench to guard Joel Embiid. Alex, can you give me 3 quick facts about Daniel Oturu?
Yeah, so anyways, this will be the third time that these two franchises are facing each other in the playoffs. And we know, like every Raptors fan knows how those first two series ended. And
I saw that.
Yeah. Wait, did you see the first one for real?
No.
The Vince Carter
was
graduation? Were you just graduating from a public school?
No.
Grade school?
No.
Kindergarten?
I was in grade 3 with Scotty Barnes, and then LeBron came to scout us.
Oh, yeah. That's when Toronto sports media members came to Guangdong and said, "This guy's special. This guy's special.
I knew this guy would be there."
I'm from the north, man. Please. I'm not 5 foot tall. You know I'm from the north.
But yeah, so we do things a little bit different on this show. As you know.
I don't.
I just want to know your Sixers. So we're gonna ask our guests all this week. Anybody that comes in, anybody that we call, we want to compile a graphic of everyone's predictions on this series for Glenn Rivers. So straight up right away, first segment, 7 minutes into Monday. Faizal, what is your prediction for Sixers?
Haven't even said hello to you guys yet.
Yeah, your official prediction for this series.
All right,
you're the first one. You're first up.
This is really tough. Look. My heart and my head say different things here.
Yeah, your shirt's saying a different thing too.
Yeah. You know, I hadn't worn this all season, and you know what? I should have because it's a little bit tighter than when I first bought it to start the season. It really depends on what's open in Toronto before the game days, right?
Man.
Listen.
Nah.
Yes, nightlife expert here.
Listen, all I'm saying is firsthand, all three of us have firsthand source on what happened before the last Raptors game.
Yeah, well, look, let's just go into it.
We were in the same space as James Harden.
Yeah.
No, we were at a cloud event.
We're at a cloud event.
Yeah,
and by the way, you're welcome. I showed up because...
Yes, we ran into Faizal.
I should say, the amount of Will Lose stands that night, that was a thing. We can get into that a little bit later because we're trying to break down a playoff series right now.
But as Will likes to say, as Will likes to say, it's not about him.
So yeah, we were at an event, a clout event for Adidas. And
yes.
You know, we were there. Jalen Green was there. It was like a Filipino heritage night. It was actually really
great
cool.
event, by the way. Really, really great event.
Really great event.
Yeah.
You know, really cultural, everything like that. It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then, like midway through, James Harden just walks in.
In comes James Harden.
Yeah.
Nudged me to get by. I was like,
no, literally, he pushed us.
No, but
aside.
legitimately, we were just standing there, and he just excuse me. I was like, yo.
Yeah. And who performed better the next day?
That's
me
an
or
offensive foul.
James Harden? If you had to pick, me on the what is it, Thursday show?
Yeah. Well, James Harden did go 3 of 12 in that game.
That's what I'm saying.
But I mean, look, listen, this is also the lifestyle. Obviously.
Yeah, no. Listen, that's
in
just
all
a
fairness,
joke. That's just a joke.
In all fairness, he was only there for like 30 minutes.
was.
Just sat down, chilled with Jalen Green.
And it was like
Then he
9:30 p.m. It was like very early. I'm just joking, of course.
Yeah, but Faisal, we're still waiting for the
Shoot,
prediction.
I thought
though.
we'd move on from this.
No,
You'd say move on.
No.
All right, whatever. Raptors in 7.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay. That's one graphic for Glenn.
Yeah. Assad, make the graphic. Yeah.
Are you already asking me to make the prediction? We're going to be doing
No,
predictions.
No,
Me-
you guys
me
don't
and
make
you-
yours. Come on. I don't
We'll
have to
wait till
produce this.
Friday, man.
You know. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
No.
We'll just get Faisal. Yeah, Raps in 7. Look, I think in looking at the series, and I haven't like looked at too much tape, although two things I really wanted to look at right away was just like the Raptors' offensive rebounding and how they did against the Sixers, because there's that one game they had 20 offensive rebounds. The Sixers had 5
Yeah.
as a team. So 20-5 offensive rebounding advantage. And the other game that was more it was like 12-6. So it was like a more normal ratio. But then I was looking at it and I was like, well, of course you can always break down a series in terms of like, look at this player versus this player, position and everything like that. One thing is just we know with the Raptors, though, they are going to try to win the possession battle. And I think that's also a key portion to look at there. So offensive rebounds was something that was big for the Raptors. I was watching it back in terms of just all the rebounds. The guys that they got all these rebounds against, so James Harden conceded 8 offensive rebounds in 2 games against the Raptors.
Yeah, I'm shocked. Yeah.
It was a lot of Kem Birch running around him. It was a lot of Precious Achiuwa running around him. He wasn't boxing out. Surprisingly, Tybal gave up 7 offensive rebounds in 1 game.
Yeah. Can't give up any in Toronto, though.
He doesn't. Yeah, that's true. He doesn't really bang bodies. He's like obviously a very disruptive defensive player. Really good at jumping passing lanes. Really good at contesting guards. But he's not going to be that physical against you, especially in the post when he's going against bigger players. So I think there's a good chance for the Raptors to attack Tybal there. I was a little surprised watching back that he gave up 7 offensive rebounds in 1 game. And then the rest of it was just sort of like a more of a sorted kind of thing in terms of like, you saw a little bit from Tobias Harris. You saw, honestly, Joel Embiid got out-rebounded a lot of times too, just because he was kind of tired. But the thing for me was because they had used Embiid to guard Siakam so many times, he's contesting the shot. Who is actually there to collect the board for them?
You know what?
They're not that athletic of a team.
This was my question to you. So who guards, first of all, Pascal Siakam? Because that's a lot of work that Joel Embiid has to do to stop this guy.
No, he's the only guy who can like even reasonably guard him.
Agree. But you can't have him do that for 40 minutes a game, right?
No.
Or can you? I don't know.
Well, I mean, he probably gets tired. That's the thing, too.
That's what I mean.
You see Embiid, he gets tired over the course of games. He just does. Alex, what was the what were you saying about Joel Embiid?
I don't know, but I was going to ask you, what do you think is going to be the starting lineup for the Raptors? Because, they've gone small or they've gone big.
Yeah, they got big.
But like that goes against Nick Nurse's, I think, preference of playing his 5 best guys.
Didn't work for the first like 8 minutes of that Philly game last week, though, right?
Yeah.
He's like, we got to change things up real quick.
Do you think there's going to be one of those bigs in there for starting?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think, and that's where the Raptors are going to have to get a little creative because their preferred starting 5 doesn't have that center in it, which I think that their starting 5, or at least in their core rotation, I think Precious should play as many minutes as honestly several starters in this series. He's guarded Embiid the best. Kem Birch has actually had decent numbers against Embiid. I think Embiid shot 2 of 6 against him. But at the same time, for me, I think Precious is the best defender against Embiid in this series. I think when you look at the Raptors starting bigs, obviously they didn't have OG, didn't have Fred for the last 2 meetings against Philadelphia where they won both games. They chose to go with Precious starting and also Kem starting. That combination of the 2 centers there has not looked good. And Nick has tried it out the last couple of games. It just doesn't really feel good. I don't really fully like it. They've also gotten off to poor starts in both those games.
It just feels anti what they've done for the entire season, right?
Yeah, exactly. And we've even seen in recent games where, he'll start with those 2 guys in the starting 5, but then the third quarter, he'll bring in Chris Boucher for Precious Achiuwa just to shuffle it up. So in any case, though, if you're assuming that the Raptors go with their small ball 5, which is usually what they're going to go with, then I'm actually curious about how the matchups are going to work because to me, what they've done is they put Scotty Barnes on James Harden quite a bit. Now, they actually have multiple options to put on James Harden, which is something that most teams can't say. But, for the Raptors, the last 2 games at least, they've had Scotty on that Harden matchup. And what they've done is if that pick and roll comes with Joel Embiid, which happens quite a bit, they're able to switch those.
Yep.
Which is going to neutralize it to some extent because you're essentially going from 1-6-9 guy guarding Harden to 1-6-9 guy guarding James Harden after the switch. They're usually cool with that. Now, if they start Kem Birch, then they kind of still try to do a little bit more stuff in terms of they don't switch. They like to keep Kem purely on the center. But realistically, I don't know how much they'll play Kem in this whole series, even though this is a team with a big. But Yeah, to me, I think if you're going to put Scotty on James, that means like you're getting OG on Joel Embiid or even Pascal and Joel Embiid. And I don't like Pascal and Joel Embiid for the simple fact that you need Pascal to be out of foul trouble the whole series.
100%.
And Embiid in particular, obviously there's a size advantage, but he is just so good at drawing fouls. I don't want to see that happen. So I think for Nick, he might have to ultimately make a quicker decision in terms of like what he wants to do with the lineup. Because to me, either they want to bring Gary Trent off the bench or if they want to bring OG off the bench, I think they could put pressures in the starting five and get off the better starts.
More than you need Pascal to stay out of foul trouble, you need him offensively, right? And the same thing we said about Joel Embiid having to defend Pascal for 30 to 40 minutes a game. Pascal having to defend Joel for a serious bulk of the game is going to take a toll on him physically as well, too.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you a question, though. If we assume Joel Embiid is the best player in the series, and I think that's fair to say.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Is Pascal the second best or is Harden the second best?
That's a really great question. I think for me, Pascal's going to be the second best player in the series for the simple fact that the Sixers don't have a natural matchup for Pascal.
Yeah.
Like you're looking at their forward options, Tobias Harris. Pascal's looked at Tobias Harris like food. For the last 3 years.
I literally tweeted that last week. In fact, he looked at a lot of the Sixers defenders that were not Joel as food when they played a couple weeks ago.
He's a media voucher to Pascal.
He's the media voucher.
Where's Aloe? Is what he's saying.
George Niang is the drive-through.
Right.
I've already nicknamed that, right? It's the drive-through. Open 24 hours, too, by the way, one of those drive-throughs.
Yep.
Serving the community. I guess they have Matisse, but they usually use Matisse on guards.
Right.
So, maybe he guards Pascal. To be honest, I think Pascal will shoot over the top of him. It's not going to be that much.
It's really Joel Embiid, the only guy.
That's it.
That
really just Joel Embiid. Like,
they're
they're actually kind of out of options. It's like, after that, it's like Danny Green.
Yeah. DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah, B-Ball Paul.
Yeah.
Another bad nickname, by the way.
Terrible.
That's a real nickname?
Yeah.
His nickname
B-Ball
is
Paul.
his job.
Paul Reed, yeah.
Yeah.
That guy can't have any confidence right now,
It's like
right?
Sports Central Faisal.
Sports Central
React
Faisal.
Pod Will.
Yeah, Mr. Podcast.
3 times a week, Alex.